So make sure when we're done with our session today that you are signed up and it's a place that you start connecting with each other, right? So there are two things that anyone needs to be successful. It's momentum and multipliers, right? We always talk about discipline, patience, and consistency. So when you start doing those three things, you start building momentum, right? And once you have momentum, you want to stay in momentum. And then you want to find things in your life that are multipliers, right? What are multipliers? They're people, places, and things that can multiply your efforts. Our platform's a multiplier because you could just go on there and start connecting with people and continue growing your relationships. There's certain people in your life that are multipliers. I hope to be a multiplier in your life, someone that makes your life better and multiplies your efforts, right? So today, our goal is to do my version of real estate speed dating. We are going to get into Zoom rooms. And what I really want you to do is do two things, right? Introduce yourself, your market, and share what your super skill is and what you need help with, right? And it'll start a very organic conversation. And from there, you should capture the names of the people in your group and you should proactively reach out to them, right? Start building a relationship. So I'm going to put us in a room for 5. We're probably, let's see, 7. Let's see, there's 4 people in a group. Hold on one second. If we do, where is, bear with me here. I don't know why they're not Zoom rooms here today. Oops. Maybe they're not Zoom rooms. Okay. Oh, there it is. So if we do this to 13, all right, so then we can put 4. We have 4 or 5 people in each room. So we'll give everyone 2 minutes. So the first room will break for 10 minutes. We'll come back and we'll kind of download and everyone will have an opportunity really to share. So the key number 1 is every group needs a leader. And the person who's the leader needs to hold a clock, meaning you have each person has 2 minutes to talk, right? This will force you to be direct and to the point. You want to avoid going off on tangents and talking about things that are just about yourself, right? The whole point is kind of to share who you are, what you do, so people can connect with you in a meaningful way. So 2 minutes, 2 minutes, 2 minutes, 2 minutes. Remember, there's no such thing as 2 first impressions. And one thing I kind of wanted to touch on is you could see 1,000 memes going on in the world about this is Will Smith, right? If you think about Will Smith and you go back before this whole entanglement thing and everything else that this gentleman has gone through, he was someone that people really looked up to, right? He was a person that hung out with Jay Shetty and these other people. He had a lot of good motivational quotes. He was a good person. You know, he's a person known as giving back. And in the world we live in, you know, what happened with his wife is very unfortunate. And the person literally has crumbled before our eyes. And you look at all the good things he did, and what people remember him for is a moment that the man had a mental breakdown and hit somebody on public television. Whether it was not warranted, it didn't happen. But what I want all of you to think about is for your business, no matter how good what you do is, you are one moment of poor emotional intelligence away from destroying your business and your reputation. So when you sit here and you get to know people, regardless of whatever's going on in your life that day, we have to manage ourselves. Like if you look at all the memes that are going on about him, I guarantee you there's not one person talking about anything good that this person has done. There have been all kinds of different things. So in a world where some of these memes, yes, they are pretty funny, but this is also a human being that had literally had a mental breakdown in front of other people. And I think the way that a lot of us work in this market, many people are very close to that breakdown with some of their clients, that they're literally ready to snap. Because when you start taking out bad clients and you're very unrealistic and the clients are unrealistic and they're not treating you right and you're just burning your energy and time and nothing's happening, you literally feel like you could snap on these people some days. It's like, are you freaking kidding me? Right? So it's a very timely and relevant message, something I want everyone to think about. And I say it because I care about all of you, and you guys all work extremely hard for what you do. So I have a client like that. Exactly. Say it's we all do, whether it's a client or another relationship. People all have people like that. And unfortunately, the world does not have much forgiveness anymore. So that's my 2 cents on that. So just, we're going to break into the rooms, introduce yourself. I'd say, my name is Chirag. I work in Westport, Connecticut. My super skill is helping people fulfill the promises they make to themselves. And what do I need help with is figuring out ways that I could find more people. Deanna, you like my analogy today?
Yeah, I thought that was very interesting. I didn't know where it was going to go. And then I was like, that makes total sense.
Look, you don't, the one thing that we always talk about, it's like in leadership, is that iceberg, right? You have no idea what's going on. And these people that are your clients have their own set of needs, and they have no idea how overworked everyone is. They have no idea how many people are coming home at 7, 8, 9 o'clock at night, running around trying to find people properties. They have no idea people that, I had a client in Boston send me a thing. It was the second property lost out on because an agent cut commission. And this time the buyer waived all their contingencies and everything. They offered $200,000 above, and the person was buying the property for themselves and waived over $50,000 in commission. Like that to people, exactly, Corey, right? Yeah, they don't care. And when we start talking about why it's so important to have these skills, that's why, right? Because if you're not prepared to have these conversations with people, the likelihood that you could end up in a mental place where you don't want to be, to act in a way that's not in accordance with your character and who you want to be, the likelihood gets higher and higher and higher. I'll never forget it. When I was an agent, there was a gentleman I very much looked up to. He was older. And one day I owned my own brokerage. He had an instance with this agent, and what he told her, I was mortified, right? He said to her, like, the lockbox, he tried breaking into her lockbox, smashing it with a rock. And when she called and was like, what are you doing? He says, do you not know who I am? My time is valuable, like precious pieces of gold. And I called him up and I was like, and then he found out that she worked for me, and I was sat on the board of directors for my MLS with this gentleman. I'm so sorry. I go, you're not sorry. That's who you are. Right. So, and the rest of the time I knew this guy, everything I thought he did was inauthentic. Because I'm like, if someone's carrying that level of stuff in them, it's generally not an isolated incident. So the reason I say this to all of you is, be mindful of who is occupying your space right now. It is very, very, very challenging being a real estate agent right now. It is not easy. So that's why these relationships and networking and having a community of people is really important, right? Because you can support each other. You could do what I like to call collaborative learning. We could all learn through our experiences and move faster forward together, better than we could ever do on our own, right? And if you think about coaching, really what it is, it's an operating system for your business, right? So all of our coaching works on the operating business of Compass, plus our client first mentality, right? Meet people where they are, ask great questions, be a good active listener. I've never told you at any point to try to persuade, con somebody, here's some crazy closing tactics. Our whole job is to help people understand things that they would not come to the conclusion on their own. And that's what a real professional does, right? So as you build these relationships, you guys enjoy breaking up and actually meeting people on these calls and not just seeing people? Good. So we'll blend this in. What we'll do is, when we do active prospecting on Tuesdays, we'll make sure that we start off with a group like this, right? We'll break into groups. It's fun. And then maybe next time you guys can all do prospecting within your groups, right? So this way you can, whatever it is, whether we're making videos or sending emails, we're going to keep looking for different ways to kind of innovate our Zoom screens. And then hopefully when we have our office launch, many of you guys can come in and spend some time with us in person when our office opens, like summer, early fall. So we'll have some fun stuff planned. And this, I can't tell you about all of this because I'll get yelled at by Brooke and Deborah and the rest of my team. What this program is going to turn into for all of you, you guys should be so excited. What's coming in the second half of the year is the greatest thing I've ever worked on as a collaboratively, as a team in my entire life. My office will be in Westport, Connecticut. So if you think about like what's the future, this is what really the future is. Your job as an agent, if you go back 10 years ago, it was filled with, okay, like I just need to know my town. I need to show property, bring people around and be a real estate agent. But today it's marketing, branding, social media, your personal brand, hiring, team building, systems. There's all of this stuff, technology, sales, conversations. And what we really want to work on is bringing that into one central place. So regardless of where you are in your business, you're on like a curated path, right? So that's kind of like a sneak peek of what the future will hold for all of us. So listen, if you're a leader and you met somebody you liked, this is a great time at 10 p.m. or 10 a.m. in 2 minutes to send somebody a video message and meet with them for a Zoom coffee, right? You know, if you want to be slick, add that little Starbucks barcode that I've seen people post on Instagram in their stories, like, here, have a cup of coffee on me. But that's a pretty cool thing. And if you want to do something cool and drive people to your social media, spend $20 on free coffees every week at the same time and watch how many people keep coming back to your stories, and you watch your audience just go. Somebody apparently made a workplace group. There you go. Karina's leading the charge. So does anyone have any questions, comments, thoughts, anything they'd like to share? No? All right. Well, listen, good stuff. We shall see everybody tomorrow. As always, I love you all, and I hope everyone has a great day. And if you're in the Northeast like I am, God, is it cold. Bundle up. It is real out there. Florida never sounded so great. All right. Bye, everybody.